Alright. Oh, what's up, everyone? Happy Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever you guys watch this video. Um, so yes, I'm going to make this macro market update video. We'll talk about as much as I possible. I'm really going to try to talk about everything, and from sectors to individual tickers, and obviously where we at the markets, because things look kind of messy lately, right? From sentiment, which is obviously now at extreme fear at 15 once again. High beta, especially, obviously, growth has been taking a hit, which again, a necessary hit. A lot of them been ripping non-stop for months, especially since April. But in my opinion, it's not as dramatic as people think. Obviously, it depends on positioning and depends on everyone and the way that they're actually approaching investing or trading. But yeah, let's talk about everything here. And first of all, I'll start with saying the obvious. Obvious is that I'm not a financial advisor. No one in flow trading or associates of flow trading or financial advisors or tax advisors. Everything I talk about is purely for educational purposes and for entertainment purposes. As always, if you choose to invest and trade, acknowledge the fact that there are a lot of risks, and obviously everyone's responsible to their own decisions. With that being said, here's my thing. We're gonna have a period of time where I just talk and I'm not going to show much because, but I try to maybe shift some charts sometimes, and when I talk about things, kind of show relevant things, but relevant charts. On the day right now, as of Monday, OPEX week, we also have expiration, which is VIX options expiration, obviously coming this week as well. So as always, you just have more activity, more, not necessarily more volatility. It's sometimes less, but it's more about hedging. So a lot of the activity that you see, whether on VIX or even on overall across the board, it's going to be heavier. More market makers hedging positions, more overall, let's say, I guess participation, we can call it, right? Because that's eventually what it looks like at the tape when you look at all types of, option flows positions, when you look at all types of dark pools, everything kind of gets on steroids basically on OPEX week, because once again, as always, we have monthly options expirations, which means a lot more than just retail, but more even institutional hedging and money being moved across the board. So creates volatility, obviously, as always, but we do have a huge week because of NVDA earnings as well this Wednesday. Okay, so that's a bit of this week. We have also some data, unemployment coming, NFP, a lot of things to watch this week as VIX closed up 12%, right? IWM closed down 2%, SPY and Qs down 1% each. Qs a bit lower than 1%, but VIX, I'm not a fan of charting the VIX, but again, if we're zooming out, we can chart almost everything, because everything at the end of the day has trends and liquidity zones, and everything is showing us something. So we had actually in the Discord the 19.6 level marked all year, and that's mainly because, again, as you guys can see, we had a bit of the melt up in October. Melt up on the VIX, I would call it, but you know what I mean. Like it just jumped really from 16 to 20 something in October 10th, so exactly a month ago, and it really danced around this level with a lot of risk off flows entering, and then boom, we had a big VIX pump on October 17th. And again, October 17th, anyone who remembers on SPY was here. Was here, yeah. So this was very clean, because on Friday, October 10th, when market sold off, we had some mega bearish flows that we've been monitoring, and they actually closed. They closed this day, and then we had a beautiful bounce later on. Now we're at a different spot right now, and I'll explain in a minute why. Anyways, yeah, so VIX went ahead and squeezed much higher on October 17. But again, if you even look at SPY, which VIX is just the expected volatility, obviously, it actually created higher lows here. If you're looking at that's 4 hour, pretty low show time frames for me. But I do want to show you all the weeks, pre-market, after hours. I want to look at it like this, where I don't want to do weekly, monthly charts. Really going to try and touch everything, right? From short term, mid term, long term. So yeah, 19.6, we're kind of seeing a similar pattern, obviously playing out from the same 19.6 area on VIX. It's obviously been holding, slowly climbing and climbing and climbing. So I've been talking a lot on X. For anyone who doesn't know, we'll get back to this in a second, but my @ is this is Orlando, right? And again, the reason I'm doing this video is because, as I promised you guys, I said instead of just doing kind of a long post that I did in February before I expected the, I don't know if I expected, but you know, suspected that we could get a selling climax here, which we obviously got. And again, we were hedged beautifully for this. Still, I was personally red from top to bottom to April bottom. I was still red on my port, but I was very hedged. I really closed a lot. So the idea was obviously to be very hedged and prepare to when it looks like it's time to buy. And again, around March, somewhere here, I think it was. Where are we at? Am I on? Okay, yeah. So around March, this is where I kind of said, okay, I want to start buying. So I started buying, and then we had the selling climax. Then the Trump pump, right? When Trump literally said buy stocks. And then we really like the idea of, okay, we see bullish flows, a lot of puts are closing. We have the Trump narrative. Markets already dropped a lot. So at some point, come on, like, you know, I believed it's a bit of a fugazi, obviously, the narrative about tariffs. I do think it's going to affect the market big time, but later on. Usually the narrative comes first, and it's because of the price. The actual effects on the economy is going to be felt later on, but again, that's less for now. And yeah, and then we had a beautiful year. Seriously, I mean, this was played out to perfection. We got the volatility climax, the led with the squeeze to all-time highs. So the way I approach right now everything, and I'm looking at SPY right now, but it's kind of with everything, right? As I've said here, and again, this is from the Flow Trading account, X account, but I'm talking about my X post here, and I posted it right now, right? Like, yeah, last week, and I'm not looking at the same thing. Obviously, very much still relevant. I don't think we're going to get the same type of in terms of length and in terms of volatility, like how low we could get. I don't think we sell off this far. I really don't. Okay, I do see us still, obviously, still staying in risk off, and I'll talk about the flows and everything why in a second. But the point is that it'd be crazy to not secure some profit. Okay, again, I'm not really a day trader much. Sometimes I like to put the day trader hat, yeah, and day trade a lot more. But for me, I look for swings. Could be a few months, could be 1 to 3 years if it's kind of, once again, more of a value plays that I really like at current prices. But that's how I look at it. So that's why it's very, very important for us to recognize, and again, we do it every day. You guys in the Discord obviously know what I'm talking about, but also on X, I believe you do. Recognizing risk-off environments is one of the most important things. And this is why, again, that's why I sold a lot of positions that I just held for a long time, even more than months, for the last 6 months. I sold some position I've held for a while. And it's not because I'm going to now go short on the market or anything, no, but because I believe we're going to have, once again, a big rotation. And I want to find it. I want to be, you know, positioned in the cheap areas of the market to continue the cycle. Okay, so super short term 4 hour, you just got the October 10th lows into the October 29th highs, just field retracement, pretty clean. Golden pocket bounced nicely on November 7th, touched it literally today as I speak on Monday. I'm still in risk off, so to me, I'm really chilling on the SPY. For me, that's just a big level that you want to watch, obviously, 62.5, which, by the way, on today's stream, it was funny, but the mic didn't work for a minute, and then I just accidentally touched it. It's a touch mic, but when I touched it, it was exactly 662.5, which was literally the bottom today. So simulation confirmed, because it was golden ratio, right? Let's go stupid on 5 minutes here. But yeah, we touched the golden ratio here and bounced nicely. So this is something that you really want to watch. Great time to observe. What happens into end of week? Are we going to hold this? What happens with NVDA earnings? What happens on the expiration, on OPEX on Friday, which is basically when all the monthly options expire across indices and individual stocks, right? Now, so many things also coming like this. Think about it, guys. We have December. I'm pretty sure that this is one of the only times in a while that it's kind of mixed. Like, what are we expecting? Hawkish, dovish, Powell, are they gonna cut? Like the first time I feel like we're not sure they're actually going to cut. So I think the markets also need to price in a lot of uncertainties before it can really go higher. And I definitely think markets are going higher. Yes. I don't think AI is a bubble. No, not at all. I mean, maybe some stocks are, of course, some stocks that are just going up because they've been saying AI a lot in their conference calls. But, you know, a lot of companies overall are in bubble mode across the board. And yeah, it's just obvious. You got companies with literally no revenues that have been squeezing like crazy. So you just gotta obviously, I've said it for a while, but you just gotta make sure that you're not over trading high beta and again in volatile stocks. Definitely not what I like doing, but sometimes when the markets give us the opportunities, yeah, absolutely, I'm gonna take a lot of risks. But now, once again, it's risk off. Now let's talk about the if we kind of touched about okay, nice, yeah. So obviously, as I've said, and I posted a few times already on X as well, all the bearish flows are still held into the weekend, of course, so they're still in. A lot of things that we've been watching. I posted this multiple times on X as well, guys. You guys know this, the $690 puts for December 2027. Again, not only the size, which is solid, $30 million of a single leg put position, obviously unusual size in relation to open interest, translated into open interest, and they never closed. They opened on October 29th, right? You can see that's where the volume entered. This position today saw new highs. They are still in. And October 29th is here. They timed the exact top. That's when they opened the puts. And followed by a lot of new positions. Oh, from single legs to a lot of option spreads. They're just hedging for volatility. And every time that they got what they wanted, all the and normally I wouldn't pay too much attention to ETFs flows unless we believe we're heading into a risk-off environment, right? And unless we truly believe that we're kind of we need to either correct or rotate across the markets. And yeah, we thought this is going to happen. So again, I guess you could say we're lucky, but yeah, we're kind of hedged for it. And once again, a lot of people still seeing a lot of blood everywhere. That's how it is, right? That's how it is, guys. This is the perfect time to understand also one thing. You still have a lot of bears holding. So now what? Are you gonna be a hero and trying to time it bottom every day, or buy just because we have a red day? Like, it's not the time to add leverage or trying to call a bottom, or as I've said, be heroes and add leverage on every red day. If anything, you wanna wait. I would much rather buy once again. Again, we had a heck of a run. Give me either cleaning completely of, break this structure and give me new highs. Maybe these puts, big ones, they're no joke, right? Going to close, maybe roll, whatever it is. Maybe they're still going to hold and I still like what I see across the board on different sectors. But let me at least maybe go higher. I'll buy higher. I don't mind. I'll chase. But it's going to be much healthier for our mental, but also clearer if we'll just wait for the obvious, or we just go lower. What I believe could easily happen, as I've said, I think markets are still in risk off. A lot of bears are holding positions, and I truly think that with how a lot of things look right now, there's a lot of risk still in the market. So in between hedging and everything, my plan remains the same. My plan is, I said it right. Oh yeah, so I'm looking to buy already November, which we only have 2 weeks to this month, and during OPEX week, which is right now as I speak. This is where I want to start already buying stocks, right? And again, as always, we're going to trust the flows. We'll see where they take us across the different sectors and everything. And there's so much I want to talk about here. So that's just kind of a bit of what I wanted to touch with SPY short term that you really want to watch. Straight out golden ratio. Again, breadth has been improving, but with short-term sell-offs like this and with a lot of stocks across the board, a lot of cyclicals took a hit. A lot of cyclicals that looked actually pretty strong took a hit just now in the last few days. So that's, once again, that's a sign that there's real fear across the board. Not only the fear and greed index, but actually something's happening right behind the scenes. So we can all speculate, it's fun and but again, focus is to try and find the opportunities, which will talk about as well. So this was a heck of a long about this, and I also talked about, by the way, you can check in my, just go to my account. I just posted something about RSP, the equal weight. It's very important, but again, because I wanted to talk about so many things here in the video, I said let's just make a post on X and we'll focus on other things. So now let's talk about something very important, which is the cryptoverse. All right, because again, quick here, SPY we just kind of covered. IWM, I'll give it a quick talk, because again, I'm bullish small caps. So for me, the opportunities in small cap value, no more high beta crazy companies with stupid amount of losses, and just that I don't believe in the companies. I'm done trading them, not even swing trading them. A lot of companies that you can call complete POS stocks, I'm still holding, and I'll talk about it towards the end of the video. Again, some don't like Open, some don't like SoFi, some don't like AMD. A lot of people didn't like these names, but there are a lot of reasons why I still hold, even though, as I've said, I sold a lot. So IWM, that's kind of what I'm watching quick, just to give you an idea. Inverse head and shoulders that played out beautifully from March and April of this year into end of May. Channel, green channel that begin in the left shoulder and then kind of, in the right shoulder basically. And you could say that this wasn't really like an inverse head and shoulders as clean because of the size, because it didn't necessarily go up right away, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes this chart, they show you patterns that still mean something, even if it's not tradable. Most of the time you want to look at charts and read them for context and sentiment on the whole market, obviously, right? Not everything is just, okay, let's trade calls or puts, right? So yeah, that's what I'm watching. A very interesting channel here that looks like a healthy trend. That last time we tested the bottom of it was August 1st this year, and then we obviously went much higher. So now as I speak, we're right at the top of it. Also something to note that the golden zone, the area between 0.65 to the half retracement 0.5, is basically 225 to 231. So again, that's exactly goes well with the channel, and that's a golden pocket of August 1st to the highs of October. So that's also an interesting uptrend, that this could be a solid area to reverse, and obviously, needless to say, need to hold this one. So that's what I'm watching IWM for sentiment on small caps. Obviously a lot. I can also talk about TLT and bonds, but to me TLT is, again, I can do quickly. I'm very bullish TLT. I'm very bullish bonds. I just am. Again, I know that the narrative is a lot of them out there, but I like it. I think this is just, the chart looks amazing. Macro zooming out, and I do think it's going to outperform a lot of the stocks across the AI revolution at some point in the next few years. So as TLT right now is at 89, this remain on super strong watch with bonds as well into 2026. And be aware, by the way, anyone who watches option flows, the way that options are being utilized on bonds ETF are completely different. So just understand, it's not like looking at calls, puts, vertical spreads, risk reversals. It's completely different. So just be smart if you are following option flows, especially if you're trading in short term, which I don't do. But where were we? Okay, so let's start, as we said, with the cryptoverse now. I'm not trading crypto short term at all, okay? But here's what we got on Bitcoin. The cup and handle, the amazing one that played out, obviously. Bitcoin is up a lot, and I kept talking about it. I still think that Bitcoin looks good, right? Bitcoin looks good. It needs this breather. It's very much necessary, because I really didn't like Bitcoin at the high levels. Then I really wanted to see reaction here, and I really liked what I saw. It bounced nicely from the 0.382, right? This is the cycle that I posted about already lately. I don't remember when, but somewhere. I posted it on X as well. April lows to the all-time highs. People forget, well, Bitcoin literally touched all-time highs last month, guys. Come on, that's Bitcoin. You're talking about something that in one cycle, after a huge melt up every time from top to bottom, you could see an 80% drawdown. Like that's Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin. So that's why I say all the time, same thing. You see 80%. So that's why sometimes I don't get why people only wait for it to recover a lot to buy it. You don't have to buy, the falling knives, but wait, higher lows, look kind of really macro, and that's even daily. Look at the weekly, monthly, it's going to look cleaner. And then if you bullish 30,000, 40,000, maybe the cup and handle even. Right now, again, I like it. It looks good to me. I'm not a buyer. I much better prefer ETH. Still, it's a big time something to watch, and bounced nicely. Then just got kind of a false breakout at 0.236, rejected. Then again, it flipped this 1.32. We're now in golden pocket and in my channel. So the cryptoverse and overall Bitcoin and Ethereum, they were more of a leading indicator lately. Obviously, topped before the bottom, they topped before spoofed on October 6th was the Bitcoin top, while looking at SPY, it obviously topped on October 29th, right? I do believe crypto either going to bottom before the markets or it's just going to show us a lot of buying volume and accumulation, which we don't see too many bulls, just still a lot of bears on ETFs and crypto related stocks. We still see a lot of bears. And again, I started some positions, but it's just because I feel like I want to start scaling in. And that's what I like, okay? I like ETH even more than I do Bitcoin, as we talked about it for a long time below 2000, and I still very much like it, I gotta be honest. First of all, look at this dude. Look at Vitalik, right? How can you not like him? For anyone who doesn't know, that's our Ethereum Vitalik anyway. Haters will say this is a fake picture, but okay. And Ethereum, for many reasons that everyone on X talks about, which I agree with a lot of them, I think is in a bullish cycle. I think the short-term levels, if you care about very much April to August 2025, it's pretty clean uptrend cycle. So again, you get a bit of a, that's how cryptos move. That's why I don't trade them short-term. But I like Ethereum. I really do. I'm watching 2600 and below it because then you kind of enter the golden zone. Again, 0.5 is not a Fibonacci per se, right? But it's the half retracement of every cycle it should drop. So I'm staying on log here just because obviously look at the percentage move. But yeah, I would really like seeing Ethereum below 2600 and we'll go from there. If it just reverses, obviously even better, right? And then it means that what, like 30, 40, 30, 50 is kind of right now point. But again, that's really short term. I'm just talking about some things that I'd rather kind of let it show us something. It's usually clean if you're looking at the weekly. It's either giving you like, it's showing you something. It's showing us something. To me, it just doesn't show me anything. And it's also we see a lot of accumulation from institutions through ETFs, but they're really long term. So for short term validation of price section, you want to see the underlying basing, and you want to see some aggressive shorts closing positions, which, as I've said, a lot of puts and shorts are still holding, and they entered pretty close to the top, just like our SPY friends here that entered at the exact top. So a lot of things like call riders, even with a lot of time, that never closed, so maybe they expect a bit more downside. Maybe even they get squeezed a little bit, not completely squeezed, but they will close if they see strength on ETH and believe that this is a true strength. So yeah, Ethereum is also obviously one that I like, and mainly want to watch the cryptoverse for the whole idea of mean reversion, because again, if you look at ETH BTC, just the spreads of Ethereum and Bitcoin, this is what I got, right? You guys know it. I have the once again the cycle from 2019 to the highs of 2021, and the cycle top December before 2022 began, right? The bear market there. And ETH and BTC just touched the golden ratio literally on the November 4th sell-off on this spread. Ever since, it's been actually compressing pretty nicely, as you see. Again, this is going to show us something on mean reversion in alt, which is good. It's bullish for broadening, for money to go from Bitcoin to the altcoins. And it's also going to show us something about the markets, right? It's going to show us something about overall growth once again in high beta. They're ready to do some stupid things again, because, as I've said, stupidity is alive and well. We see it. markets are barely down and people already not really full-blown freak out, from what I see at least on X, mainly joking about it, right? But yeah, there are a lot of fear. I still think there's more fear necessary, but there's enough fear right now that says, okay, let's start looking for dips to buy. So that's the ETHBTC, just kind of to give an idea for, as I've said, not only for altcoins, but it's the coal mine of global liquidity. So if we're looking at this cryptoverse and stocks, even like MicroStrategy, right, which I said I'm kind of I've been one of the biggest bears, and it is a stock that I kind of like trading, to be honest, to both sides. But I've been so bearish sailor in MicroStrategy for a long time, and I got a lot of hate for it. And at this point, as I've said, I'm flipping to bullish a little bit. So yeah, 186.5, we gotta hold it. That's what I want to watch into end of November. But for me, we are getting into a point, for many reasons that I don't have time to explain, that I think the risk reward is worth it to the upside. 186.5 needs to hold. Let me say it again. 186.5, it's the bottom of golden pocket. It needs to hold, or at least show some strength above when you're in golden pocket. All right, so that's that. And again, I'm patient. I'll give it a few weeks to start playing out. If not, cool. Coinbase also starting to really give us what we wanted. Again, stock that we really like in the Discord. Was an amazing trade also from April, from the lows that I paper handed somewhere here. Went much higher. But yeah, it was an amazing trade. And I think it's going to be an amazing trade once again for us. But for now, again, even Coinbase, if you want to look at some stuff, the April lows to the highs of July, you just have too many things that line up. Golden pocket, the clear trend that could kind of give you a new structure, which confirms kind of an SNR flip, right? But then again, if it happens because of a liquidity sweep, even better. So I'm interested in the low 200s. If it just reverses and looks better, beautiful. As I've said, I'll chase and buy it again. I'm not here to try to catch falling knives. I want to be where the risk reward is worth it. So that's even me looking at the daily chart, but it's because it's getting interesting. Like, we want to see what the daily chart is doing into end of year, what the daily candles even are showing us. At this time, when markets are risk off, it's actually a good time to, if you usually look at weekly charts, to even zoom in right on daily, sometimes even 4 hour, to see some liquidity in pre-market, after hours. So that's that about the cryptoverse. Again, a bit more downside will be very healthy, whether we get it or not. If we get it, I will love it. Golden pocket, I don't see too much downside left on crypto, I'll be completely honest. I could be wrong, I'm not a crypto expert. I've been trading for a few years crypto, right? But again, my style is really trying to find macro cycle lows and tops. I was bullish Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin around 30 something and I sold it, but it went again much higher after I sold it. But now again, I'm just more bullish on the mean reversion into Ethereum. So this is why I'm saying, again, as I've said, below 2000 easy buy. If it happens again, I think even here, I think I've said it not a long time ago, below 4000, in my opinion, we'll get back to this post, not this post, but we'll get back to Ethereum next year, sometime next year, mid-year, later, who knows, and it's much higher. Once again, I could be wrong. We'll, with all the predictions, we have to keep trusting what we actually see in front of us. But yeah, that's where I'm at. If we somehow get 2600 or below it, I'm a buyer of Ethereum. Once again, easy, truly. And even some arts that move with the Ethereum ecosystem that I like. Not only Solana or the AVEX or all those competitors, but there are a lot of arts who I believe can really move and tell on tech in crypto, if it makes sense. So that's that. Okay, don't ignore crypto, guys. I know it's noisy. A lot of people don't maybe like crypto at all, but it's very important. It's very important for the markets as well. There's a lot of liquidity there, and it tells a lot about the markets. So stay open-minded. Next thing I wanted to talk about, XLU utilities have obviously shown out performance. It's basically today, right? We talked about it also last week in the Discord, but today it was the only green sector on the day, while everything else was closed red. Utilities look good. That usually means that there's a bit of a flight to safety. I believe that utilities is entering a very bullish super cycle that once again it's going to outperform equities as well in a later stage of this cycle of a few years when something bad, in my opinion, gonna happen. But again, no time for this now. A lot of you guys know it, obviously. What I think, just what I think. And I think this is for now. From now already, from OPEX week, in the next few days, in the next week or two, everyone needs to watch utilities and what they do if they truly break out here. Again, that's a flight to safety, and no one talks about it because it's not as sexy as AI stocks and mega caps and Tesla and NVDA and Palantir and Apple and Google, my Google. But the point is that they tell a lot. Just like staples, which I haven't looked lately personally much, but here utilities tell a lot. So if it breaks out and gives you like a big upside and breakout and green crayons, this is exactly where you want to start thinking contrarian. It gave you the breakout. If it follows with a bit of a selling climax on SPY or overall indices, or even if not a climax, like, you guys like this word, huh? But even if it's just more chop while utilities break out, this is when you want to start saying, okay, it's breaking out. I'm not going to chase it, right? We're not here to chase anything. If anything, maybe this is the time to see where the actually inflows go. So I would love seeing this. This is just more indication of you're getting to a potential truly extreme mode, not only in sentiment, but also on charts and the rotations in the markets. And in my opinion, this will mean that we're close to a bottom in the markets. As I've said, I don't think this is going to be a long sell-off, even though flows are pretty bullish right now, true. But again, I say it all the time. The time to watch flows is where they're not popular. When everything goes down, like here, if you look here, during April, the flows were insanely bearish. Even here, the flows were very bearish. But we were already catching the bearish flows here. So now we said, okay, a lot of people scared because markets fell down. So lots of funds and tilts and everyone's going to hedge their portfolios because they're scared that this is going to keep falling. But that's where they make the picture to actually look for dips and look for longs. So that's what we did, and again, played out. That's what I'm planning of doing the same thing, guys. That's what we're gonna do, all right? If we go lower, we're going to find the opportunities because, in my opinion, even if we get a sell-off, low, I don't care if we go to, again, I'm just saying it for the sake of it, right? Even if SPY drops all the way to, let's just be open to everything, right? First of all, by the way, you got a very strong support. It's 0, just to be fair, right? Very strong support. So that's worst case scenario. We're gonna be fine. With that said, even if SPY gives me this, like after this short-term uptrend and goes into 1.618 to 620, and again, it seems crazy, it seems a lot, I know, but think about how much fear this would bring. This is less than a 7% move. The amount of fear that will happen here is going to be insane. And if this happens, to me it's very bullish because already now look at the fear. And Spooz Baby, like, they barely moved. Truly, some people still green in the last few weeks if they're positioned correctly in the right sectors, right? I have some green positions, but I'm not green. I was red in the last week, like last week. But yeah, I mean, still some solid strengths across the board. So I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying, like, zoom out. Look, it's not really that bad even. So even a bit of a sell-off, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be healthy. Again, because the utilities kind of look like they're about to break out soon. Maybe a bit more of, even I don't like doing 4-hour on type of ETF, but even if you kind of look at it like this, maybe now it's kind of breaking out, or maybe it's going to kind of still go lower, retest once again, and then break out. If and when it happens, as I've said, this is kind of the signal where it's time to look for the bullish flows. And where are they entering? Well, everyone's focused on all the puts that will enter on SPY, even though, again, puts will enter on SPY because everyone wants to stay hedged. Okay? So again, utilities, energy, commodities, which I don't even need to talk too much. You guys know where I stand. I've been insanely bullish silver for a long time. Very clear about it. Again, you guys know where I think it's a super cycle, and usually don't like saying that I still like something after it ripped so much. I like to sell the FOMO, but I still like silver. I'm still long silver miners. I just took a lot of profit from GDX, which is mainly gold miners, because come on, right? Like we squeezed like crazy. Still hold some of them, but I prefer just the other commodities right now. We actually played lithium lately, which played out beautifully as well. I also posted it on X. Discord knows LB was one of my favorite plays. And it's been insane. Took more profits. Even today was a green day, insane. But I took a lot of profits with a lot of other names last week because it really outperformed. See, like when markets chopped. So I kind of looked at it as a hedge. I said, okay, this position that I really like keeps going up and up and up while markets go down. So let me take profits here. And again, I'll reposition into a new position that I like. Kind of like, as I've said, kind of like a hedge. Even Comp, for example, I took profits. It's a stock that I really liked in the housing realm, real estate, and this also played out nicely for us. So again, I closed. Again, I can talk about a lot of things why I closed and in areas of the markets that I closed. But I took, as I've said here, a lot of profits, and now I'm ready to reposition. So yes, the commodity cycle is real, as I've said. You had just now lithium. There are a lot of other commodities as well, hard commodities, soft commodities, a lot of others that not many are looking at. So I definitely think that we're gonna have some solid opportunities. Again, I can't. There are so many of them. Like natural gas, I still think people are sleeping on this natural gas. Like let's switch back to log here, but I'm very bullish natural gas for millions of reasons. You guys can check stocks if you want and everything on this one. One that I really like is EQT. Posted about it a few times already as well. But again, not advice. Do your own DD. EQT. You can check natural gas. Okay, so again, from aluminum to copper, so many commodities that I like, and that's where my focus has been until we have the high beta trades go back to being stupidly stupid again, which we like stupidity in the markets, right? Now NVIDIA. I don't think NVIDIA is fucked, just to be clear, right? Not at all. Amazing companies. You can argue that it's overvalued. You can argue that it's undervalued. I'm not here to, I don't care about these narratives. I don't care about the about NVIDIA at this point. Like again, I wouldn't be a buyer. Like if you're talking about something, always we try to think long term. Like would I buy it here? Personally, no. But I wouldn't short it, as I've said for a long time. I also wouldn't short it. I think it's an amazing company. But yeah, they report this week, so obviously that's huge. We gotta watch it, right? We gotta watch it. Even if you kind of look at the daily right now and you look at Nvidia, that just the way that it looked beautiful back here and it squeezed a lot. Now it looks a bit weak. So I do think the most entertaining outcome is for Nvidia, maybe even to do like what Palantir did, which is a fake bounce, but basically sell off after earnings, right? Because Palantir obviously sold off right here, big time after earnings. It looked like it popped a little bit, but it was fake. Like it really sold off in the following days. And Palantir also was a heck of a short for us at the 1.618, shorted it, and then closed it in a not bad timing at the bottom, basically. Which is also something that everyone should watch, in my opinion. Palantir, which I paper-handed, once again, a name that I bought very early, but closed way before it, way earlier. But it happens, that's the game. A lot of other high beta stocks that I still like very much and holding up a lot on, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, the cycle for high beta and all of them, in my opinion, was again 2023 and 2024. Now it's not the time to buy this insanely growth stocks that already pumped a lot, unless you really get a real sell-off. Like again, what happened here, that's where maybe. Still, you gotta watch it. It's very relevant for risk on and markets overall. And yeah, it looks like high beta is sold off and is dead, but it can be even more died. Just like it can really sell off even more, and in my opinion, it needs to. It's just going to be more healthy. Okay, you don't pile into these names and into high beta overall when um when leadership shows us different things. Again, I can throw so many stocks. So far, you guys know I like the stock. I'm long the stock, right? Again, I bought it at $6, $7, and I just like it. I never sold. I never sold covered calls because I like it. I traded it multiple times as well. This is a stock that I like, company that I like. Hood, same thing. Unlike Palantir, I did it per hand, and yeah, it's been going down lately, but I'm chilling. Like we're up so much. So at this point, seriously, my average is I started buying it 9. Where was it? Why did I remember 9? Oh yeah, not here in the second retest of this after a solid range here. Anyways, 9, 15, average is at 20, 21, 22, something like that. Anyways, so I'm really chilling. I still like uh, the stock. A lot of you asked about you. Again, I can talk quickly, guys. They're basically selling non-stop insiders. I never like seeing this. I'm not a fan of it, but a lot of them are from Iron Source. Okay, so again, the company is shifting into Vector and into new ventures. So not new ventures, but they're basically shifting. So it makes sense. I've talked about it also. I kind of expected it, and I still think it's going to continue to happen when insiders sell, because they want to secure their profits after the stock gone up a little bit. Across the board, a lot of people sell, right? Big tech companies, a lot of insiders are selling overall. So that's just how it is. I would love to see them, even if not buying, holding a bit more. I'm not gonna lie, because literally everyone's selling, like everyone, executives, directors, the CFO, the CEO, everyone. So yeah, it's all pre-planned, sure, right? It's all pre-planned. It's not open market sales. I don't care. Still, don't tell me this is like come on. I'm not here for fun, but I'm also not here for like I'll say it how it is. Anyways, I don't care. I don't care if it sounds like fun. I don't care if it sounds like opposite, like being too positive. No, I'll lay it how it is. I still like it. I think the last report, which I really waited for, I liked it. It was solid, not amazing, no, but nice, solid. Again, the thesis has been playing out. Again, we're in from 20s. Worst case scenario, what happens? Go back to 20s. If the thesis is not gonna change, I'm gonna buy again, right? So yeah, I'm still in shares. I'm still in calls. Obviously, sold a lot of calls already, but I'm still in 2027 calls, which now for me it's a bit of a low DT because I only have like a year and a few months. So maybe I'll roll into 2028 at some point in the next few months. We'll see. I just want as much time as I can. But yeah, the chart is kind of the same. We obviously had the sell cover calls if you're a paper hand channel, right? Which if you're a paper hand and you sold cover calls, good job. And yeah, not much to add. Anyways, like I don't care. I don't trade it short term. Never. You guys know it. It's a deep value play for me, and it's going to stay this way. Not gonna talk about it much because markets as a whole right now are more important, and there are better things to watch and more important things to watch than just individual stocks. But again, I'm gonna throw another one. It's gonna make a lot of people mad, maybe, because people think it's a POS. Open. Is it a POS? Yes. Deep value POS. But again, people said that we're crazy for buying this at 70 cents. This is not a company that I just saw a lot of flows in it and decided to buy. We've followed this for years. Okay, so here's the drill. And this is, by the way, it's very important for the market as well, because I'll explain in a second why, and it's very, very important. And I think this is something that a lot of people miss. These stocks that squeeze, they tell a lot about the market. So I'm gonna tell you a secret here. One of the reasons I was very starting to get more and more bullish in 2023, it took me a minute, but what really I really thank Carvana because it put my conviction even stronger in 2023 and 2024. When Carvana sold off a lot, I personally thought that it's a complete disaster and like a fraud. Like I thought they're going to go bankrupt. But if you guys remember, it's not a stock that I traded, but when it was $4, we saw insane amount of openers and just a lot of bullish call buyers, not like a few weeks out speculating, but long term, and it didn't seem like hedges for something. It just seems like straight out buying a lot of calls, high delta, even though they're over the money. The way the markets priced it, it kind of priced it for still for more volatility, but not like vol expansion in terms of a sell-off, but just premiums stay high. And that's why Carvana, we kept watching it, and once it kept going up and up and up, again, I paper-handed and I sold my Carvana that I bought at $4. Right now it's literally 320s. I still sold it at single digits, like $9. But again, I learned a lot from it. So I'm not comparing the two, but again, remember, people miss the bigger picture. Carvana, the vending machine in the car business, the reason we were very bullish on Open, and again, shout out to all of our mods and our team in Flow Trading Discord. It was a teamwork, just like Beyond Meat, but huge difference between the two, I'll explain. I believe they have a huge ton, okay? And I know people say they don't have a ton, they don't have any real market share to take. I disagree. The reason I really liked it at 70s is not just because, you know, we saw a lot of unwinding of bears, or we saw dark pools, or because it fit a lot of our narrative on real estate and housing overall as a sector that we followed. So we started looking at real estate stocks, and Open Door being kind of a tech company in the sector. My thesis has been that the company can really improve, and it's either a hero or a zero. Again, I entered at 0.70s. We nailed it with the 1618 that we had here at 4.7. No, it was 4.67. Again, I posted a lot about it, you guys remember, and shorted, sold a lot of covered calls, closed them a few days after, basically paid for my initial entry. Literally paid for my old entry because our squeeze from our entry was basically a 500% move on the stock, right? So it was a heck of a squeeze. Options were juiced. So sold premium, money, position is literally free. That's not the only reason I still hold it. I still hold Open because I really believe in, as I've said, their time. And I tweeted the day before the CEO resigned that I think the real CEO should resign. So I'm not taking, it's not me. I'm not saying it's me. It wasn't me. But maybe it was. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I wanted. I wanted the CEO that actually has, you know, some conviction potentially. And by the way, as we speak, you can start looking at some insiders lately, which is always interesting to see where you have insiders. UPST, Upstart got some, you know, a big insider buy. The CTO actually bought $4 million worth of shares. You have a lot of interesting companies anyways here. By the way, Open as well. The CEO, they just, DraftKings have some, which is interesting. Starbucks, huh? You see, Open, here you go. The CEO, $1 million. Guys, he bought at $8 or will at 70 cents. You really think I'm gonna sell this when the CEO bought it $8 and I'm in from 70 cents? Come on, no freaking way. I'm not even selling any covered calls at this point because, again, flows are telling me, and the way the options are actually priced here, it tells me that markets potentially still pricing in a lot of upside to come in the future. And unlike Beyond, that's very important to understand that we also, massive shout out to our Discord, to Fan and to everyone, because they actually made me look at it literally on the live stream that we had on Friday. And then we just saw the massive dark pools. We saw the huge unwind that actually started with the put buyers that we saw, that I said, okay, it's probably going bankrupt. They literally swept it and closed it in one of the days here. So we said this is millions of dollars of closing puts. Again, I made a whole video about it. You guys can see it's my last video, but again, I also said I'm not bullish at all. I'm not bullish about the company. And the reason this is different is because all premiums are trash here, right? So again, I sold cover calls, and that's it. I sold my position. I sold out. I hold like nothing at this point. I don't even care if it goes to zero. Who cares? It was a great trade. The way that options are being priced here is completely different, especially after you have such an insane squeeze, right? Almost 1,500%. What a trade it was. It was very fun. I gotta be honest. And then it went up 87% in a matter of, what, 2-3 weeks? So when this happens, the market's gonna price options completely different. So options premium are trash, and it's, in my opinion, going to remain this way. This is why I'm not interested in this one. Contrary though, Open, at some point, if it gives me another big move, then maybe I'll sell covered calls again. I'm just a believer in this. And again, um, I wanted to start with why I believe in this, and I'll talk quickly. I understand that a lot of people are going to overanalyze their current business model. They're going to overanalyze. And there are a lot of pumpers online right now. They talk about open a lot because it went up, and they okay, cool. Personally, at this point, I don't even care. Like they can pump it, but I think it's the bigger picture. Again, remember what we talked about Carvana. Uh, you could say that this is car industry, so this is real estate, but the real estate market is huge. Okay, real estate market is huge. It's a big cycle. You have a lot of narratives. Real estate is not going to go to zero. Okay, you know it. Housing is, again, I've been bearish housing for a while, and I still am, but this is something that's going to bottom eventually, right? Like the housing market, housing overall, real estate, there's always demand in the area and in the space. I got a drink. I talked too much. Gotta take some water. 1 second. Okay, so yeah, as I've said, all these names, just like Carvana was telling us that a lot of stupidity, which means stocks and growth and everything, keep going up higher, and it shows us here. Open can show us kind of the same thing. Okay, if it keeps going high, even if you're not interested in trading it or whatever, I'm interested because I'm long. But if you're not interested, then watch it into next year as well, because if it keeps going up and up and up, it's showing you once again that not only it's squeezing shorts um, and you know the stock keeps going up, but there are more potential plays that will just completely shock everyone in the market. Not many will be able to explain it. Why Carvana went up, why Open went up. At the beginning, also Palantir and Hood, not many explained what happened with AMD lately. But again, Open, you have the inventory cycles. It's a very cyclical, obviously, industry. So I just thought when housing looks bad, it's exactly the time to look at something that could flip. And again, everything that I wanted to happen happened. The CEO stepped down, someone else with some more skin in the game, someone else had a bit more conviction, started to talk about it. So I talked a lot about Open, but it's also because it's very important for everything. Again, AMD, everyone hated it. Everyone hated it. People literally laughed at me on this one nonstop. I laughed at myself, by the way, nonstop because I kept buying throughout the downside. But this one made my year and then some, to be completely honest. I mean, at this point, that's why I'm saying I'm chilling. And I took a lot of profits on MD. I took a lot of profits on MD, yes. You just have to. Just like on China, again, the emerging market story I'm still bullish on, but come on. Like I only play the cycles on Baba, yeah. And China stocks, only the cycles, it means a few times a year, just like the way I trade Tesla. But when I believe there's a cycle coming, which is showing us that a big trend can form. And that's it, a few times a year. I'm still long, obviously, Baba, because I'm bullish long term, but in terms of playing the cycles, I'm not interested now besides watching emerging markets. And again, I just mentioned Tesla. I don't have much to add, guys. You guys know it. I just made a whole video about it not a long time ago. Yeah, you look at the whole markets, you look at Tesla. I remain bullish Tesla. I don't care if it goes lower a little bit. Maybe I'll even finally trade it again with options. But at this point, I just watch it. I remain bullish Tesla as well for many different reasons. And by the way, heck of a bubble. Don't get me wrong. Tesla is a bubble. But I don't care. I trade what I see in front of me. And from our car company, I went into robotics company because it traded in this range very close to all-time high. Now maybe people will start saying car company again. Beautiful. It's going to flip the narrative back to being a lot of fear, which means once again it's going to say that we're ready to buy some stocks. All right. I think that's. I mean, I'm sure I forgot to talk about some things, but I don't even. I don't even know. Yeah, we're basically 1 hour of a stream here, guys. So I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys kind of took some things from this video. And yes, let me, I guess, summarize with a little bit more just what I talked about at the beginning. The 690 that entered at the exact top, the put for December 2027, they're still in, but they're not the only one at all. $30 million, they're now worth more. There are a lot of fear across the board, and just a lot of bears that still stepping in. And when you see put sellers, if you really look deeper, a lot of them are just taking profits and sometimes rolling farther out. So they're still bearish and hedging for downside. So we have to see strong and real bulls stepping in. And not only on stupid stocks and, you know, names that basically, you know, people like to trade a lot, but we gotta see it a bit more. Like, show me industrials, right? Like XLI, yeah. Show me industrial. What's this? Let's look quick. I think we didn't post this one on Discord. All right, nice. I'm gonna post it later on if it's, yeah, it actually looks like something. But yeah, industrials, financials, these are the sectors that are really going to tell us more. So this is where I want to see bullish flows enter. Even the transportation part of the market, right? Transportation part of the market is basically a very cyclical part that usually will outperform or at least start to base and show signs of new structure when a real bottom occurs. So again, a lot of things we want to watch, obviously. Go back to the beginning if you want. If you watch it again, obviously. Look what I said about SPY short term, what you want to kind of watch the levels. But the main thing is that we still have risk off across the board. And that VIX most entertaining outcome is to do kind of a repeat of what it did in mid-October, which is as it just flipped exactly from our level of 19.6. Again, excuse me for charting the VIX, all of you who are VIX chart police. I don't like it as well. I don't, but sometimes it is a good time to do it, especially when you have kind of a solid zone that just look historically, like not historically, but in the last month or so, it really liked this zone. So yeah, I do think with the expiration this Wednesday, NVDA earnings, another big flash on markets, which means another VIX pop, could be the time to start buying. And that's why I said that my plan is to already now, during OPEX week, this week, start buying. That's what I'm looking for. I want another selling event. I want people to get scared. And we were, as I've said, the main thing that you gotta understand is that risk off doesn't mean all in puts, obviously. We're not all in calls or in puts, all in shares, all in short underline. It means that you take risk off the table. You can take a lot of profit from positions you held for a while. You can hedge yourself absolutely with leverage bear ETF, with puts. You can sell covered calls against your positions 100%. You can open a simple, I don't know, maybe better to do a put debit spread than a call credit spread in this environment, but you can hedge in tons of different ways. You can go long volatility products, many ways to do it, but you just gotta understand when it's risk off before it happens. And that's the main thing we also always do in the Discord, right? And then when we're ready to kind of trade, because I'm all about swinging, I'm really about patience. I'm not here to trade weekly. I like to buy at least 6 months to expiration. Sometimes if I feel stupid, I'll buy 3 months to expiration. If I really think the markets just show us a lot of crazy moves, and sometimes even less, right? But again, overall, I look for opportunities. So I think there are a lot of things coming right now in a lot of areas of the market. I'm going to throw quick kind of to summarize everything. We're going to throw some names. And again, breadth is very important. As I've said, go check the post that I just made about the XLP not doing much. XLU we talked about. What do I want to talk about? Yeah, guys, I think it was long enough that I'm starting to oh, all right. Okay. Anyways, we talked about it a lot. It's basically what I do every day. Anyways, on the Discord, like 1 hour stream, just go over stocks, requests, and everything. But yes, guys, that's it. That's it. Don't let the noise shake you out. Don't let the narratives eat you. Remember that the narratives come after price. So when breath improves a little bit when price shows you a flash. That's the time to look at bullish flows. If SPY pumps, it doesn't mean that it's gonna hold. As I've said, it pumped nicely last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, right after Friday, which was a solid bullish day with a lot of flows actually that entered, but a lot of bears kept entering and kept entering. Now we're confirming that we went lower. That's good. That's it. In my opinion, the next leg will be the one that confirms where the bulls are entering. So I don't see a lot of more downside. I just see more volatility across the board. It's necessary, and I think everyone should be ready to kind of look for opportunities. Again, it could be anything. I'm bullish tech personally. XLK, for example. I'm very bullish tech. I think they have the pricing power. They swim in cash. You guys know how much I like Google. Liked this for a long time. I think Microsoft, if it gives us a bit of a sell-off in short term, could finally look intriguing once again. And then again, the 538, the Chat GPT sucks bros level will be gone by now level. Could be tested again. I think a lot of names overall in tech look very good. As I've said, AI is far from being dead. But with NVIDIA earnings this week as well, there are just so much risk on OPEX week with expiration as well to even try to go stupid. So risk off, guys. Be smart for as long as necessary. We're not here to try to trade every day. We're here to keep the money that we made all year. And we made solid money. So let's wait. I don't mind buying if it goes higher, as I've said, even just looking at SPY. Not that, again, I trade sector rotations, commodities. I love growth right now to trade. Again, if it shows us, as I've said, the selling and then potential a volatility expansion to the other side, kind of similar but smaller time frame to what we had in the tariff sell-off earlier this year. But very simple, guys. That's it. We have all the mega bearish flows that still hold, and for now we gotta also listen to the flows and be patient while trading in between everything that looks good, right? Whether it's utilities, whether it's healthcare, whether you just want to buy some dips for stock that you like long term. That's exactly what you, in my opinion, not advice. That's what I would. That's what I'm gonna do in the next few into end of year, anyways. Regardless of price action, I'm gonna look for things to buy. That's always the goal and always the plan. Look for what's cheap. But the truth is, I'm looking right now and I see a lot of things that I'm interested in, but not too much that I really like to buy, just not. So I don't mind waiting for as long as necessary until the markets tell me, okay, you're safe now. Now the risk reward is worth it. So always that's how you gotta think. Never enter just to be in a trade. Never try to be a hero in time a top or a bottom. Focus on being on the right side of the trade, not on being right. Okay, not the environment to overtrade. And that's it. Much love, everyone. Appreciate you guys for joining. And the cycle is far from over. It's just taking a breather. All right. Again, as I've said, this is my X account. This is Orlando. If you guys don't follow me already on X, and only if you want, you can follow me there. That's where I'm try to be as active as possible. But obviously, 96% of my day I'm on the flow trading Discord all day, every day, talking stocks, sectors, breaking down flows, charts, macro data with all the smart cats that we have in the community. So that's it. Much love, guys. Appreciate you guys for watching so this far. And please like if you like the video, because it took me a while. I think it's probably gonna be over an hour of a stream of a video. So please let me know by liking it. I will appreciate it, or even just by saying hi in the comments. And good luck this week, guys. Happy OPEX week to those who celebrate. Much love. Peace out.